Afternoon, everybody. Headed to Memphis. I believe they're 24-5 over their last 29 games. Really, really well coached. I mean, well coached. Good football team. Exotic defensively. 3-3-5, but yet do a lot of movement, a lot of different blitz patterns. Very confusing defensively. We have to continue to watch more and more film on them because they play a little bit different each and every week depending on formations and whom they're playing. Offensively, they run the read zone about as good as anybody. And the quarterback is a good runner, good thrower. They've got a really good tailback, more than one, but a really good tailback. And then they went into the portal or went recruiting, got a couple of good wideouts from Hutch JUCO. Good offensive line. That they're in this world. They're revamped as well. They have two guys starting for them from last year offensively, and one a really good defensive end in Whitlow. On defense, kicking game's really good. Got a good kicker. He's made a 55-yarder, I believe, this year already. So going over there will be an exciting opportunity. Hopefully we'll have a lot of Arkansas people over there to watch the game. So that'll be about it, and I'll take questions.
How's Kenai doing?
Kenai's good. Thanks for the question. Kenai came back with the team. He's good. I don't know whether he'll be able to play or not right now, honestly. He's been assessed, obviously, by the doctors and by Vance, but we're just happy that he's healthy and going to be able to recover from all that, but I don't know how fast.
Any opinions that you had during or immediately after the game that changed after watching the video?
No, not really. I pretty. What's amazing, guys, is there's no downtime. In other words, your defense is out there. You're on the defensive headsets where the offense is, doing their adjustments. You make them as soon as the series over. You make them with both coordinators. You talk to both coordinators as soon as it's over, and then you move on. So. This game, special teams-wise, the same thing. This game, I thought what we talked about and things that we needed to change and do better and things we were doing well, there was really good communication there. What I thought I saw, I guess is your question, what I thought I saw and what I saw pretty much was correct after watching the tape.
Cam played 67 snaps, I think.
Who's that?
Cam Ball.
Yeah.
Is that just like 70% Cam Ball's better than the next best option, or is that about what we can expect? I mean, this seems like a lot of snaps for a defensive tackle.
I think that's what we need to expect out of him. I've taken him off of every special team except for, he's a left wing on field goal, which not too taxing, important, but you look back and you look at 51 from Ole Miss, and he played all but 2 snaps in the first half the week before we played him. To me, he's their best defensive lineman. And, we wanted to challenge that we could keep our better players on the field on the D-line. We're used to this 4-4 rotation, but if there's not close in there of who's better, I would rather have Cam out there when we can. Some of the extra reps probably, Trey, were that they didn't substitute and we couldn't get him off the field were some of the reasonings. But I wanted him to continue to play more ball.
First off, Quincy obviously was on the availability report and maybe played less snaps than the week prior. How's he doing health-wise? Any concern with him moving forward or with whatever it is?
I think there might be a concern, with him practicing. That's the key. He practiced three of the 4 practices, but not full speed. But when the quarterback or running back, I can't remember which one, got outside the pocket, he was flying after him. So I expect him to be healthy. He was moving. He couldn't have ran any faster. So we need him back, and we need him healthy, obviously. He's in better shape right now than he was last Monday, so I expect him to be ready to go.
What's he dealing with right now?
It's just in his growing area that tight.
So if Kenai has to miss any time, I think you guys brought in Jaheim, to replace him. But is that going to be like a competition this week? Do you want Jaheim taking most of the 1 reps? How are you going to go about figuring that out this week?
Well, he has to, because Kenai wouldn't be out there. And if you're asking past that, Davila would be the next guy. And we believe in him. We just got to make sure that he keeps his hands off the defenders. But he can cover. We just got. I think we'll probably put gloves on some of those guys this week, so they get that grabbing out of them, because that really hurt us Saturday as well.
When you did go back and watch the film, and maybe assessing that along with what you thought after the game, what stood out from the secondary? What are the biggest things that maybe you need to work on this week to improve that?
Well, the double move is obviously a concern. Now, we're going to get that because it was successful for Ole Miss. Lining up correct, and we've got to be better coaching. When you're checking to check, you can't make a guy travel. I mean, you just can't. And we did that down there on the goal line. Guys wide open, and so we've got to do better there. Now, our whole key this week to me is go back a little bit more of the second half. It's hard to read alignments, eyes. Obviously you watch tape for a reason, and it's about cut splits. It's about who's on, who's off. It's about all these things in the secondary, what routes. So if you're changing late, you don't have your mind can't calculate all the things that here's a key here, here's a key here. If you're just lining up before they say set hut, you're not getting all that pre-snap stuff that you need. And so we went a little bit in the second half. 173 yards is still a lot of yards, but it sure as hell wasn't what it was the first half. And 10 points is a lot different than 31. And so if we'll allow them, play the play, make them make a play. A lot of times guys have a blitz over here, they'll check, you'll check blitz to the other side. Something very simple like that, then trying to change the way that we're trying to cover them. And so I think as much problem as it was stopping them personnel-wise, it was just as much problem of us getting in late calls and them not having an opportunity to calculate all the things that they learned through film study and practice.
I was going to branch out from that question. He asked you about the secondary, but when you said we have to get some things fixed on defense, when you saw the tape, generally what things, and I'm sure Ole Miss had some nice schemes you had to adjust to, but what things were you meaning?
They really didn't do anything. They had one little route that they crossed. They ran a crossover route, flooded us out there. But I'm talking about from coaching to the players. I mean, we had 12 on the field down. We tried to make a substitution when there was nobody coming off the field. Now, we thought because the guy went out of bounds that which normally is the case, you get a little bit more time to sub because he went out of bounds on his sideline, but that wasn't the case. But we've got to do a better job over there coaching, and we have to do a better job of making sure that our kids have time to process. And those two things we didn't do well, but we did better in the second half, which gives us a little bit of spark going into this week that, hey, we've got good players. Let's line them up and quit trying to win the chess match every time and let our players play.
You're going back over to the Memphis area for the second time in 2 weeks. I wonder what you thought of the travel operation. You know, the whole gamut of things that you deal with for that first road game. How everything worked.
Yeah, you know, every Sunday the first thing that we talk about is, do we want to go back to that place? How was it? The food, the bus from the airport, the airlines, all that stuff, and it went really well. You know, obviously we've been to Memphis. Not necessarily the team. There's not a lot of guys that on our team, a ton of them that played in the Liberty Bowl, but we're staying at a different hotel than the Peabody. And but the travel went well. Our airlines was on time, did a good job, and actually we got home about 2:30, I think, maybe 2:15, somewhere. We were a little ahead of time there. The screening process went well, and you know, the first time they check everybody, and then after that it's a percentile of guys. But it all went well, and I expect it to be a short flight over to Memphis. You know, we bust the last 2 times we played over there because of, you know, it wasn't a sense of urgency that we get back, and most of the guys don't come back after a bowl game anyway. They go home. But so I think it'll be good. We'll leave at I don't know what time. I know our team meeting is 11:35, so we'll probably leave somewhere around 3 o'clock, I'm saying.
How much of the Ole Miss prep for a mobile quarterback kind of carries over to this week with Memphis's mobile guy?
Oh, I think anytime you have read offenses, that it'll carry over. You're going to have to. Are you going to surf the quarterback? Are you going to try to establish the mess point? Or you know what you're going to do is always questions that how you going to try to defend the read zone. But probably not a lot of carryover from Ole Miss to Memphis, to be honest with you. Besides that, they're really good at inside zone and really good at inside zone read. I mean, really good at it. To win, to beat Memphis, defensively, you've got to eliminate that, and they're good at it, so it's hard to do.
And kind of with similar travel plans in terms of location and back-to-back weeks, I mean, how much of it is wiping what happened at Ole Miss, or maybe taking pieces of it for motivation?
Well, I mean, you can't let any one game lose the next one for you. It's just like you can't let a big win. You're not just going to win the next week. So we'll do the same process that we did, after Arkansas State and Alabama A&M, and correct what we need to correct today, and find out what we need to get better at. We'll find out what we're doing good is as important as that too, and move on.
Sam, on Ole Miss's last touchdown, it looked like it might have been a pick play or something. I'm curious what you thought. Did you get an explanation?
They haven't yet. We never, we don't get them till we sent in several plays, to be perfectly honest with you. But if that wasn't a pick, I don't know what is, and I don't think that'll cost me money. I don't think. I'm not saying it was a wrong call either, but I'm saying it was a pick.